So I'm going to be honest here and say that getting attention from the media as a musician, it does take a little bit of public relations know-how, because you can't just go to any editor and say, hey, listen to my new song, and think they're going to just automatically pick you up. It just doesn't work like that. But I'm going to tell you how it does work. Hi, I'm Anitra J from the Crafted Musician blog. I post weekly videos right here on YouTube, helping musicians build a fan base and make money with music. Today, I'm hoping to take a little bit of the mystery out of interacting with the media and give you some practical tips that will help you be more effective when it comes to getting the attention you deserve and getting exposure in the media. If you want to learn more DIY hacks for your music career, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to be personally notified every time we upload a new video. So the first step in working with the media is defining what makes you newsworthy. And this is something that a lot of us musicians struggle with, because we tend to think of our music in terms of it's a new release. We recorded it at such and such Grammy Award winning studio. We performed it on this stage. We're getting radio airplays, Spotify plays, yada, yada, boom, boom. This is awesome. But an editor or a columnist is really not going to see it that way. They're going to look at your music in terms of, is this going to interest my audience? And you know what? A lot of musicians are making great music. And so if you come through the gate talking about this is a great song, this is a great tune, hot track, you're not really going to get the attention you deserve. So you really need to determine what is it about your story that's intriguing, what's going to appeal to their audience, and what makes you newsworthy. So what makes something newsworthy? Number one is timeliness. Timeliness involves something that's new, thrilling, and exciting. And you have to remember that the fact that your release is new, it doesn't really make it timely, not from the standpoint of what's newsworthy. Timeliness involves something where maybe you're fusing two different genres together that have never been fused before. Like maybe an example would be the country rap artist Lil Nas X, or maybe you're doing something new with your music, writing a whole album about a certain topic that's new and interesting. You're shedding new light on something, you're doing something brand new with your music. That's what's considered timely. Number two is proximity. How close does your music hit home for people? And this is typically going to involve a lot of local interest stories. For example, maybe you did your song about a local landmark that a lot of people know about. Or maybe you did an album about a recent event that took place, like a hurricane or a natural disaster or something like that. So that would be a story involving proximity, because whatever your topic is and whatever your story is, it's interesting to people who are in close proximity to that particular topic. Number three, novelty or rarity. This is something that involves being rare or being outside of the norm. Like maybe, for example, you're a singer-songwriter who performs with an upright bass. You know, it's just something new, it's different, it's rare, it's not something that people would normally expect. And that is very newsworthy. People will be very interested to learn about something that is just so rare that they've never even heard of it before. Number four, conflict. I probably don't even need to explain this. Conflict sells. We all know that drama sells. That's why reality TV is as popular as it is today. That's why the reality stars are always getting into it with each other, because they know that drama sells. Now, you can manufacture a conflict in order to get exposure if you want, but I don't recommend it because you could get caught and be labeled a fraud. But you can cover certain conflict in your music. For example, if you sing about civil unrest or civil rights issues, maybe you did an album about the latest election, or maybe you're extreme conservative and you want to talk about your beliefs in a form of an album, that's conflict, because whatever side you're on, whatever your beliefs are, if you're focusing on hot button topics and hot button issues, there's always going to be some sort of either I'm with you, yes, let's do this, or criticism. And so either way, it's good for you because it's publicity, but only if it's genuine. Number 5, human interest. Anything that resonates with humans about other humans, it makes for a really good human interest story. Now, you might have love songs or an album dedicated to love, but what can really make it interesting is adding that human element, that human interest element. Like maybe the songs talk about details with your love life, details about your relationship, maybe your family dynamic, or just someone's personal journey to self-fulfillment, but it's really detailed. Now that makes a great human interest story, because we love hearing about other people. We love reading stories or listening to or watching stories where we could just kind of indulge in someone else's life. And so that's what makes for a really good human interest story, especially if there's a good backstory. So let's take, for example, Johnny Cash, his song Tennessee Stud. That song is about him and his girlfriend and him getting into a fight with his girlfriend's family and riding away on his getaway vehicle that happens to be the greatest horse of all time. Now that is a really good human interest story, because he goes through the whole shebang, and he even talks about like how he gets into a little bit of trouble when he's on his getaway tour or whatnot. So the thing is also that song, the lyrics are very witty and it's really catchy. So that kind of song is very interesting, would be very interesting for someone to pick up and feature, because it features a human interest story that would be interesting to read about and listen to. Number 6 is prominence. Now, not everybody can pull this off, but if you can find any aspect of your artistry or your music that has any level of fame or involves a celebrity or something that's very popular, you might be able to use that as leverage in order to get attention from the media and get exposure. For example, maybe you worked with a celebrity, or maybe you had a bad experience with a celebrity, or maybe you yourself are a celebrity. Were you on a TV show, or you were on a singing competition TV show? You can use that as leverage in order to get people to pay attention to you, especially members of the media or columnists or magazine. Now, these are just a few things that can make something newsworthy, but if you can pinpoint elements of your story from any of these angles, you have a really good shot at getting the attention you're looking for. The second step in getting media attention for your music is creating appealing materials. Once you have your story ironed out, you're going to need to create the content that you'll use to get people's attention to look at what you're offering. You're going to need a really good email pitch to sell yourself, promo pictures, artwork, a press kit, along with your press release. Now, if you need help creating any of these elements, I've got you covered. I've got resources that can help walk you through creating each of these pieces. Just take a look down in the description box below, pick which guide you need, and follow the links. The third step in getting media attention for your music is executing your campaign. And out of all the 3 steps, I think this is the easiest, because all you have to do is select your contacts and then hit send. Now, I do suggest you create a spreadsheet where you keep track of all of your contacts, get their names, phone numbers, email addresses, website addresses, and have notes, a note section next to each contact where you can keep notes about who they are, what their audience likes, what they would prefer to receive in terms of a press kit, things like that. And also note that sometimes your story might change depending on the contact, because you would say something different to a music blogger that you would say to a special interest blogger when it comes to getting featured. So make sure that you have a note section so that you can keep those notes handy. The other thing is following up. Once you send out your emails, you might need to follow up. I would say wait a week or two before following up. You might have to follow up 2, 3, 4 times. Follow up until you get a response, and don't be afraid to receive criticisms or negative feedback. You can use that kind of feedback to your benefit to improve yourself and to develop a thick skin, because you know we need a thick skin in this business. Getting media attention for your music is not rocket science, but it does take a significant amount of forethought and a well-executed campaign. Starting with your story. A great story that is newsworthy makes all the difference. Thanks for watching and happy gigging. If you'd like to learn more about creating a unique artist identity, making yourself stand out, and building a loyal tribe, check out my free artist development checklist. It walks you through everything you need to do to establish your brand and sell yourself as a legitimate artist. Download the checklist today by clicking on the link in the description box. Head on over to thecraftedmusician.com for more tips and tricks to level up your music career. Talk to you soon.